The Valeyard. Is he really a warped version of the Doctor? Or is what the Master said a complete lie? For the purposes of this video, let's just examine what the Sixth Doctor believes to be true.
If I hadn't visited Ravelot as I then thought of it, the High Council would have kept this outrage carefully buried, as presumably they have for several centuries.
I must agree. You have an endearing habit of blundering into these things, Doctor, and the High Council took full advantage of your blunder.
Explain that.
They made a deal with the Valeyard, or as I've always known him, the Doctor, to adjust the evidence. In return for which, he was promised the remainder of the Doctor's regenerations.
This is clear.
Just a minute! Did you call him the Doctor?
There is some evil in all of us, Doctor, even you. The Valeyard is an amalgamation of the darker sides of your nature, somewhere between your 12th and final incarnation. And I may say you do not improve with age.
So the Sixth Doctor believes the Valeyard is a part of himself, but he's not a complete incarnation. And by using the system in my previous video, the numbering of the Doctors, it becomes clear that another version of the Doctor was created between his 12th and then final incarnation. The human Time Lord hybrid. Now I know this theory is a popular one, but just like the Valeyard, I'm going to use questionable evidence in trying to prove that what I am saying is the truth. We last saw the hybrid in Journey's End.
This universe is in need of defending. Chunk of TARDIS. Grow your own. That takes thousands of years. No, because...
If you shatter-fry the plasmic shell and modify the dimensional stabilizer to a foldback harmonic of 36.3, you accelerate the growth power by 59.
We never thought that.
I'm just brilliant.
The Doctor. In the TARDIS with Rose Tyler. Just as it should be.
The hybrid is left in the parallel universe to travel around space and time with Rose Tyler. But how does that make him the Valeyard? Well, the hybrid states,
I'm part human. Specifically the aging part. I'll grow old and never regenerate. I've only got one life.
But what if he ages at the same rate as an Earthling, yet he has the regeneration cycle of a Time Lord? He would think he'd live out the rest of his days with Rose, but instead he would just regenerate. Now I know what you're thinking. How could the hybrid acquire his own regeneration cycle? Just like another character who was created on board the TARDIS.
When did this baby begin?
Oh, you mean?
Quite.
Well, how would I know? That's all humanly private stuff. It just sort of goes on. They don't put up a balloon or anything.
Could the child have begun on the TARDIS in flight in the vortex?
No, impossible. It's all running about and sexy fish vampires and blowing up stuff. And Rory wasn't even there at the beginning. Then he was dead, then he didn't exist, then he was plastic. Then I had to reboot the whole universe. Long story. So, technically, the first time they were on the TARDIS together in this version of reality was on their...
On their what?
On their wedding night.
Now I know when the hybrid was created, the TARDIS wasn't travelling through the time vortex, but in the Christmas invasion, the 11th Doctor was able to grow another hand because he was within the first 15 hours of the regeneration process. So maybe, just maybe, the hybrid gained his own regeneration cycle by travelling in the TARDIS so soon after his creation. So with the hybrid being alone and locked away in his own universe, he begins to hate himself, and more to the point, the Doctor. So he plots to return to the main universe and take his revenge. But whilst jumping between the two dimensions, he accidentally travels back to Gallifrey during the Sixth Doctor's lifetime. So why couldn't the hybrid just travel to a point in time where he could encounter the 12th Doctor? Well, that's easy. His TARDIS died.
The TARDIS draws its power from the universe, but it's the wrong universe. It's like diesel and a petrol engine.
With the hybrid now stranded on Gallifrey, he comes in contact with the Master and the High Council, which takes us up to the trial of a Time Lord. Of course, now the Doctor has received another regeneration cycle, this theory could be completely wrong. And, sorry I wasted your time.